Hello everyone, my name is Adam Livingston. I am the Bitcoin Wizard, your #1 source for Bitcoin and Bitcoin Treasury company analysis. Alright, first off, if you're watching this, you're either broke, angry, dangerously curious, or all three. Maybe you got laid off at DoorDash because your Prius exploded. Maybe you're tired of taking financial advice from your uncle who owns 0 Bitcoin and 6 jet skis. Or maybe you just looked at your 401k, did the math, and realized you'll be able to retire at the age of never. This is not a motivational seminar, this is a survival manual for the financially hunted. Your savings are melting like butter in a microwave. Every talking head on CNBC wants you to believe it's your fault. Stop eating avocado toast. Start budgeting better. Yeah, what about the $1 trillion death orgy they call monetary policy? I budgeted, I clipped coupons, then I watched my rent go up $400 and the grocery store replace chicken with pictures of chicken. You've been trapped in a psychotic carnival funhouse where the mirrors show you working hard, but the real image is your soul getting harvested for corporate stock buybacks. And guess what? The exit isn't a promotion, it's Bitcoin. And no, I don't mean some goofy altcoin that sounds like an energy drink. I'm talking about the Bitcoin, God's final middle finger to the fiat clown world. Now, before we dive into this unhinged financial exorcism, a warning. What you're about to hear will shatter your worldview, offend your financial advisor, and possibly result you living in a cabin surrounded by mining rigs and protein bars. Which would be good because that means it's working. This isn't a presentation, this is a jailbreak. This is how you will unplug from the matrix using a hardware wallet and a grudge. And by the end of this, you'll either be stacking sats or crying into your stimulus check wondering why ground beef is now $10 a pound and your landlord drives a new Audi. Strap in, shut up, and prepare your spirit. Because I'm not here to sell you anything, I am here to free you. Slide 1, let's just rip the band-aid off. You are not employed, you are monetized. You're the raw material in a factory called the economy, and your job is to keep dying just slow enough to keep paying taxes. Your boss calls you family. That's HR code for we legally can't pay you less, but we can emotionally manipulate you into working weekends for a Walmart sheet cake. You're waking up at 4:30 a.m. to deliver cold McGriddles to people in gated communities that used to be your neighborhood, and you still can't afford to fix your cracked tooth from 2019. But hey, your job gives you a free t-shirt and a 15% employee discount on items you can't afford. How empowering. The Fed, by the way, printed 40% of all US dollars in existence in the last few years. That's not economics, that's arson, and you're the insurance payout. You trade 60 hours of your life per week for melting tokens backed by absolutely nothing except imperial nostalgia and hope China doesn't dump our bonds. You're not behind, you're not lazy, you're not bad with money, you're a hostage in a monetary death cult where they steal from you by design, and then gaslight you with budgeting apps and Dave Ramsey platitudes. And I know some of you are still holding out hope. If I just work a little harder, if I just pick up one more shift, if I just cut out one more joy out of my life, no more pumpkin spice creamer and I'll finally be okay. No, you won't. Because you're earning in a system designed to decay faster than you can climb. This isn't a grind, it's a grinder, and you're the beef. Bitcoin is the only off-ramp. It's the kill switch to this vampire economy. And if you don't start stacking sats, you will never escape. But don't worry, we're just getting warmed up. Slide 2 is where I explain why the American dream is a laundromat for banker fraud. Alright, let's address the actual sacred cow in the room. The American dream. You've been told if you work hard, save diligently, follow the rules, and don't buy too many lattes, you'll make it. You'll own a home, you'll raise a family, retire at 65, die surrounded by loved ones, and expired Jell-O cups. But here's the truth. The system isn't failing. It's functioning exactly as designed to funnel your energy upward while giving you just enough dopamine to keep you clocking in. You're not the customer, you're the yield. Let's look at the scoreboard. Rent up 40%, wages up what, 4 cents and a pat on the back? From a manager who gets his financial advice from a TikTok OnlyFans influencer? 12 eggs are $7.50. They used to be breakfast, now they're a status symbol. Groceries are shrinkflated to hell. Cereal boxes half full, family-sized Doritos feeding exactly one divorced guy in his car. And what does the government say? Inflation is cooling. Oh, really? Cooling? Then why did I have to pawn my air fryer to buy dog food? Let me explain this simply. Fiat currency, dollars, is a leaky bucket. You pour your time, labor, and dreams into it, and by the time you need it, half of it has evaporated into BlackRock's bonus pool. Every second your money sits in your checking account, it's quietly dying like a fish on a blacktop parking lot. They blame you for not saving while they print money like a toddler with a crayon and a cocaine problem. And you wonder why your savings account looks like a war crime? This is financial warfare. Quiet, sterile, bloodless. You don't hear the bullets. You just feel the anxiety in your chest every time your card declines at Aldi. This is why Bitcoin matters, not because it's trendy, not because you can trade it, because it's the only money in your life that can't be inflated into oblivion by psychopaths in marble buildings. Still think the system's just broken? No, it's a rigged casino. Get real. And you're not the house, you're the guy getting kicked out for counting cards while the Fed sets the entire deck on fire. Let me break the illusion. Your job is not a career, it's not a path, it's a harvesting mechanism. You're not building a future, you're being farmed just like cattle, except cows get free food. Let's go through it. You wake up too early, sit in traffic you hate, to arrive at a place you didn't choose, to do tasks you don't care about, for a manager who thinks morale is pizza. You trade your time, your life, for digits that are losing purchasing power faster than a Sears gift card in 2008. You sell time for dying currency. That's not income, that's spiritual liquidation. And then what? You pour what's left of your paycheck into rent, gas, antidepressants, and hope. Maybe you'll get a promotion. Maybe you'll retire before your kidneys fail. Spoiler, you won't. The game is designed to keep you circling the drain, smiling for the team photo, and dreaming about maybe next year. Retirement? You think your 401k is your ticket out? You're betting your entire future on a number going up in a market where the insiders get out first and you get left with the musical chairs and a coupon for adult diapers. Your career is a hamster wheel with buzzwords. They slap growth opportunity and company culture on like it's seasoning. The CEO buys another jet and tells you we're a lean team this quarter. You are not a worker. You are a battery. You are monetized. And every moment you spend trading time for fiat, you are leaking power into a machine that feeds on your exhaustion and sells your loyalty. It's the FU that breaks the wheel. Because once you stop saving in melting money and start storing your time in truthful money, the game changes. You stop being a crop, you start being dangerous. All right, let's talk about hope. And no, not the Obama kind. Not the self-help kind either. I mean actual, quantifiable, mathematical hope. Hope that you can plug into a wallet and measured in sats. It's called Bitcoin. Now listen, poor people don't stay poor because they're stupid. They stay poor because the money lies to them. Fiat money punishes saving. It rewards spending. It penalizes anyone who dares to delay gratification. That's not economics. That's psychological warfare with a Discover card. Here's the truth. Bitcoin is the only money on earth that respects your time. It doesn't inflate, it doesn't dilute, it doesn't let some geriatric banker in DC wine cave decide your future with a printing press and some pain pills. Bitcoin is digital property. It's finite. It's governed by math, not moods. You know what that means? You can store your labor across time. You can work today and still have that value 10 years from now without begging the bond market to behave. It's a time capsule for your effort, a ledger of dignity. It's the closest thing to a time machine that poor people have ever had. You don't need to be rich. You need to be early, you need to be angry, and you need to stop saving in poison. When you earn in fiat and save in fiat, you are pouring your life into a system designed to leak. But when you convert it into Bitcoin, you're taking your stolen time back. You're saying, I may not have a yacht, but I will not be your pawn. And I know some of you are thinking, but Adam, the price goes up and down. Yeah, so does your rent. So does your blood pressure. At least Bitcoin crashes honestly. This is the first time time in modern history that the little guy has a shot, a real one. Not through politics, not through protests, not through scratch-offs or leveraged ETFs, but through truthful money that does not answer to anyone. Bitcoin is hope with a hash rate. Next slide, let's talk about the lying, smooth-talking parasites who told you to diversify while drinking champagne on your grave. Okay, let's talk about financial advice, or as I like to call it, institutional gaslighting for broke people. You've heard it all before. Just diversify your portfolio. Index funds are safe. Buy bonds and hold until retirement. Yeah, that's not a strategy. That's financial hospice care. Let's decode this, shall we? Diversify means spread your life force across a dozen melting ice cubes and hope one of them doesn't evaporate before you die in a Chili's booth on your 67th birthday. Your advisor says, buy bonds. Cool, so I loan my money to the exact system destroying its value? For what? 4% annualized theft? And then pay capital gains tax on that privilege? No thank you. Then they say mutual funds are safe. You know what a mutual fund is? It's a group chat of stocks curated by some Ivy League ghoul who owns 0 of them personally, but takes a fee whether you win or lose. They love to tell you Bitcoin is risky. Oh really, Janet? You mean the thing with a 21 million supply cap? Running 24/7, secured by the most powerful computing network on Earth? That's risky, but the dollar backed by a $37 trillion deficit, 2 wars and hallucination is safe? Let me break it down for the folks in the back who still trust their HR guy. Diversification is code for we know none of this crap works, so we're gonna sprinkle your paycheck across a dozen asset classes like seasoning, and pray you don't notice we're stealing 2% per year in management fees. You don't need to diversify. You need to opt the hell out. Bitcoin doesn't pay dividends. It doesn't call you. It doesn't pitch your ESG reports. It just sits there, unbothered, ungovernable, untouchable, watching the whole system burn with a smirk. You say you're broke? Good. That means you're paying attention. You should be broke. If you're not broke right now, you either sold fentanyl, inherited a Wendy's franchise, or committed tax fraud in 3 states. Welcome. Now, I don't want to hear your excuses, but Adam, I can't afford to buy Bitcoin. You bought Starbucks 3 times this week and paid $13.49 on Amazon Prime Video to rent a documentary about burnout. You can afford hope. Stacking sats isn't about being rich. It's about not being an idiot. It's about converting your poverty into sovereignty before the music stops and all that's left is bugs, rent hikes, and a CBDC social credit app that freezes your balance because you made a meme about the World Bank. You don't need a yacht, you need a plan. You don't need to own a full coin, you need to stop buying iced lattes and start buying time. That's what sats are, time that doesn't rot, time the government can't touch, time that doesn't bend the knee to anyone. $5 a day turns into generational wealth when you store it in a vessel that doesn't decay like your dreams. I see people buying Funko Pops, vape juice, and inspirational signs like live, laugh, love while they rot and wage hell, and then tell me Bitcoin is a scam. No, Sharon, your life is the scam. Bitcoin is the receipt. You want escape? You want freedom? Then stop scrolling TikTok and start stacking. Skip brunch. Sell your TV. Cut your own hair with a spoon. I don't care. You don't need comfort. You need conviction. Stack the sats and report back to the Bitcoin wizard when you're done. You can leave anytime you want. No one's guarding the door, but you won't because they built the prison in your head. They told you the money was complicated. They told you savings was a spreadsheet game. They told you the system works while your grandma ate cereal for dinner and your uncle got denied a home loan after 38 years of perfect attendance at a job that gave him a stress stroke. They told you Bitcoin was dangerous. Meanwhile, your retirement account is managed by a guy named Chad who thinks the petrodollar is a constellation. Let me be very clear. You are not poor. You are early, and they hate that. Because if you knew how early you were, you'd stop showing up to the slaughterhouse and start stacking like your bloodline depends on it. Because it does. Bitcoin is not an app. It's not a stock. It's not a gamble. It is the silent rejection of everything that has ever lied to you. It is the opt-out button that they pray you never find. You don't need to protest. You don't need to riot. You don't need to ask for permission. You need to leave, quietly, elegantly, like a ghost, one sat at a time. Every sat you stack is a pixel in a painting of a new world. One where the rules are honest, where the value is real, where no one can stimulate away your children's future with a printer and a press conference. You've been obedient long enough. You've filed the forms. You've made the minimum payments. You've clapped for your boss's birthday one too many times while crying in the parking lot at lunch. No more. Bitcoin is not a shortcut. It's a declaration. It says, I see the scam, and I'm done pretending it's normal. Ah, yes, the classic. But what if it crashes? Friend, everything is crashing. You just don't see it because they crash your world like they boil frogs in slow motion under fluorescent lighting with soft jazz playing in the background. You think the dollar is stable like a marriage held together by debt. You think your 401k is safe? It's a slow motion cremation that comes with quarterly statements and a pamphlet about compound interest that hasn't been relevant since milk was affordable. Let me explain something. Bitcoin doesn't crash. Bitcoin cleanses. It rips the illusions out of the market like a fire hose through a clown car. You don't survive that by avoiding it. You survive it by being on the right side of the chaos. You're scared of volatility, you say? Well, volatility is just truth moving too fast. Meanwhile, fiat is quiet, composed, controlled, calm, like a hospice nurse gently smothering your bank account with a pillow embroidered "In God We Trust." Every time Bitcoin crashes, it's like watching the tide go out and you get to see who is swimming with fake assets, leveraged dreams, and corporate vibes. Spoiler alert, it's everyone. You fear the Bitcoin dip, but you don't fear the real nightmare. Being 68 years old, eating yogurt for dinner, and realizing your diversified portfolio just bought you 2 years of retirement and a coupon for arthritis cream. Bitcoin doesn't promise comfort, it promises clarity, and yes, sometimes that clarity is violent. But I'd rather hold volatile truth than stable lies that lead me to slow, debt-induced extinction. And by the way, Bitcoin really isn't volatile. It's just volatile when you denominate the value of it in another asset that is volatile. You can either embrace the noise of the honest market or cling to the soft silence of the fiat euthanasia chamber. Alright, enough theory, enough rage, enough metaphors about slaughterhouses and spreadsheets soaked in tears. This is the part they never give you, the actual plan. No buzzwords, no wealth management tips, just a blueprint for escaping the maze before they drop the ceiling. Number 1, stack sats like your landlord stacks eviction notices. Every paycheck, every tip, every weird side hustle where you sell haunted dolls on Etsy, skim off the top, convert it, move it, store it like your future depends on it because it does. Number 2, learn, read, shill, repeat. Treat Bitcoin knowledge like it's a survival skill. Study it like you're prepping for a final exam called Monetary Collapse 101. Then spread it like gospel to anyone who still thinks the US dollar is backed by anything other than vibes and military hardware. Number 3, stop buying liabilities. Start buying time. That third monitor for your gaming rig, that $90 sweatshirt that says mental health matters, that $18 Chipotle burrito. That's time burned. You're not buying products, you're buying distractions from your own entrapment. Number 4, orange pill your broke friends. Or don't. You can lead a horse to the Lightning Network, but you can't make him download a cold wallet. Some people aren't ready. Let them go. They'll join you later or mock you from the wreckage. Either way, less sell pressure. Everyone will own Bitcoin at the price they deserve. Number 5, hold the line no matter what. The dips, the FUD, the panic porn on CNBC, it's all part of the system's immune response. You're the virus now. The organism is rejecting you. Good. That means you're doing it right. This is not financial advice. This is financial entertainment, and this is also civilization protocol. 5 simple steps to exit the clown economy and enter the next era quietly, methodically, with conviction. This isn't about Lambos. This is about not dying in a cubicle surrounded by cat posters and HR policies. This is about reclaiming the time that they stole. You're not building wealth, you are building your liberation. This is it, the last slide, the fork in the road, the point where you stop laughing or start weeping. You have two options, two paths, two destinies. Option one, you keep going. Clock in, clock out, try your best, clip the coupons, budget the sadness, you die obedient, you die diversified. Your grandkids visit your grave and wonder why your life savings were worth 4 energy drinks and a t-shirt from a collapsing empire. Option two, you leave, you unplug, you opt out so hard they feel it in the debt markets. You stop playing their game and start stacking like your bloodline will one day ask what you did during the collapse. And you want to have an answer that isn't, I bought the dip on Roblox stock. No one is coming to save you. That's the bad news. The good news, you don't need them. You have the map, you have the torch, you have the tool. It's called Bitcoin. This isn't about getting rich. It's about getting free. It's about time, energy, dignity stored in a vessel they cannot touch, censor, seize, or inflate into oblivion. You've been mocked, gaslit, overworked, lied to, trained to smile while drowning. That ends now. You can either chain yourself to a system that laughs while you starve, or bind yourself to a protocol that respects your time more than any boss, bank, or any government ever will. Stack or starve, escape or obey, Bitcoin or bondage. Choose your chains. My name is Adam Livingston, and I am the Bitcoin Wizard. If you enjoyed this content, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and keep coming back for more daily Bitcoin insights. Have a terrific day. Class dismissed.